Okay, I do want to talk some sports with you, Magee.
Yes.
Basically, one of the discussions that we had in the group the other day was about the World Juniors and how we can make the World Juniors better. Because World Juniors going on right now, and part of the thing is that the bigger hockey countries, Canada, Sweden, Finland, US, Russia, they often blow out the smaller hockey markets. So like Germany, Slovakia, Latvia, Austria, Kazakhstan, when they get in, like all those kind of countries, they get in and they don't really have that much of a chance. There are some wild cards, like Czech beat the Russians, which is cool to see because it also just throws that whole group into an absolute spiral of teams that can take over. But we were kind of discussing like what would be the best way to fix the World Juniors. So do you have any like ideas on how to make it more competitive or how to eliminate those blowups, or would you just leave it the same?
I don't know. I feel like their blowouts are kind of stupid.
Yeah. Like 16-2 beating Germany is.
Yeah.
That being said, though, Germany was missing like 9 guys.
That is true. But still, I don't think it would have made that big. Like, probably not 16-2.
Yeah.
Probably still like north of 5 goals.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's like a quick fix. Obviously, like smaller market countries like want to play for their country. But I don't know. The only thing I could maybe think of is like instead of having, how many teams are in the tournament? Like 8 or something? Not even like 6?
10. I think it's 10.
10? Okay. So instead of having 10 countries, maybe have like the top 6 or top 7 countries where like they're more competitive, and then just have like team world with like all the top players from like, they don't even have to be, so like a country that didn't even qualify or wouldn't normally qualify, like Anze Kopitar's like Slovenia we were talking about earlier, like the best players there could compete for this like team world, and by picking top players who aren't necessarily from like just Austria or just Czech or whatever, like just the best of the best from the rest of Europe, probably be a competitive team and prevent some blowouts. But I don't know how they'd like, I don't know. I feel like competing for your country is something that you take more pride in than just being a part of like,
than world.
The others, the island of misfit toys, essentially. Like
see, like I kind of like that because I think that you're right, especially with like the Anze Kopitar thing, like Slovenia. Like there could be guys in Slovenia who maybe just haven't got to see, like that being said, NHL scouts are definitely getting out there and seeing those guys, but they don't get to like be brought into the light of national television and broadcast to the world kind of until later on in their careers, or like once they actually do crack the NHL, who could get an opportunity to play for Team World and be seen. And the other thing I thought too is like, if you took the best players from like Latvia, Kazakhstan, Switzerland, Austria, and you put them all into one team, Czech,
but
you
even
put them
like
on one team. Yeah, like they could probably put together a competitive team, because even when you look at like Germany, Stutzel right now, he looks like incredible. But imagine if the rest of his team, like other than just the guys who are on his line, were actually good too.
Yeah.
And not to say that the rest of his team is bad. They're just not as good as Team Canada. Like Team Canada has 19 first round picks. Yeah. Like the Team Canada has 19 first round picks. First round, not just picks, first round. Like these guys are drafted in the first round to the NHL. Like think about that Swiss head coach who a couple of years ago, I think 2018, had the quote where he's like, how many first rounders they have? 7, and the rest in the 4th round or whatever it is. And he's
in the second,
like,
and then one
in the second round, and the one in the 4th, and he played the most NHL games of all of them. Like
a Canada team who dominates us again, and we try to hold against.
What did you learn about them in the pre-tournament game you played?
Learn that we are far away from them still. They're faster, they're bigger, they're stronger, they can shoot better, they can pass better, they can do everything better.
So is this what you'll tell your team? Like, what do you say to your team?
Exactly that. and try to fight against. What I want to say, they have like, I don't know, how many other first rounders they have? How many? Huh?
7.
And the rest in the second round?
Yeah.
Huh? And one in the fourth round who play like the most NHL games so far? So what I want to tell against?
That Team Canada team won the World Championship, that World Junior Championship that year. And like this Team Canada
they have
team,
more than
19
double
guys
number
in the
of first
first round. Yeah, it's insane. So you just think about that team, like they're looking at it saying, we got blown out by a team with 7 first rounders. Now we got to go out there and play the team with 19 of them.
Yeah.
So
That's
it would
scary.
create that. But I just think that I wouldn't change it. Just because I think that the level of sense of pride that goes into playing for your country, I feel like those kids, like, yes, getting blown out would suck and it would be really shitty feeling. But at the same time, I think that the pride that goes into getting to play for your country on that national stage is above all. And the experience that you get to have going there and doing that is so far beyond measurable that it's like, it's worth it to these guys. I don't think they really care.
Well, here's a hypothetical idea, like
Okay.
just completely just a random idea, and like obviously would take away a lot of opportunity for other guys in random countries. But imagine like a North America versus World Series,
Yeah. Okay.
like
so
a
Canada, US
7-game
against
kind of like a 7-game series, like a summit series. We have the best players from Canada and the United States
okay.
against the best players from everywhere else in the world. So like Sweden, Finland, like wherever, Russia,
Right.
and it was like a North America versus World Super Series.
Man, I think that would be sick. I just think like it can't be something you do every year.
No, yeah, definitely not.
It would be like it would be like an Olympics type like situation, like one every 4 years they do that. Would you want to just do that at like the junior level, or would you say doing it at like pro level too?
I don't know, man. I think the junior level might be more. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think the junior level could be more exciting to do it at because like oh man, maybe they just do it at both. Like they just say fuck it.
But I
do it
kind
at
of like
both.
the fact that you don't really know the players that well
In the junior
at
level.
that point.
Right.
Whereas like if you know, it's like Pasternak and like whoever else who's going to be on Team World, and you kind of know what they're
Right.
about.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the fact that you could some random obscure guy could end up being like the world's savior for like against North
Yeah,
America. Like nobody ever
save the
has
world.
heard of this guy, and they're like, yeah,
Yeah. He's just some sick player from Japan.
Belarus.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that would be pretty sick, actually. I like that idea, Miggy. I think we might have to pitch that because that could be sick.
World versus
Imagine-
North America, like a new series. And like you always hear about these series from back in the day, like the Soviet Union versus the Philadelphia Flyers when they had that series, or like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Canada-Russia 72 Summit Series.
Right.
For some reason, like series aren't a thing anymore. Like no one just plays a series because.
Right. Yeah. And like, you know what else they did? They did the USSR against like the NHL All-Stars.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we? Obviously the USSR guys weren't playing the NHL at that time, but like that would be so sick. Like Team North America against Team World. Like you just get the best of the best in one series, like a 7-game series of World
It would be
against
a
North
battle.
America. It would be a battle. Like imagine the controversy in deciding the teams too. You'd have the
Oh.
top hockey minds from Canada and the US putting together that North American team, just trying to determine, like, imagine the tryouts between Team Canada and the US. Like,
Oh my
imagine those
God.
camps. It would be mental. Just think about how competitive a Team Canada camp would be. And now you take not only the best players from Canada, but the best players from the US. Like, you're putting together an
Like,
Olympic team for Canada.
Imagine the World Jays with like Zegras and Caulfield and like whoever at the camp as well.
Yeah.
Just like,
Like
holy
battling. Like you think about, like, I just think about, like, let's say on Olympic level, just for comparison's sake, and like you're trying to put together the best Team Canada team you can. So you're putting together a roster of 13 forwards, 7 D, 3 goalies, just for the sake of this like conversation. And you bring 20 of Canada's best forwards and 15 of Canada's best D and 6 of Canada's best goalies. And you have to narrow that down to a small team. And then you let's say you've taken that Olympic team that you've put together, and now you're going to take that team mix them with the US team and say half you are going home or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
it would be so intense. Those camps would be mental. They'd probably just like beat the shit out of each other to the point where like they have nothing other to do than just want to battle for each other. Like,
Yeah, dude,
you know,
I
it's
think
like
that'd be
Miracle on Ice when
incredible.
like they're
That's
like fighting in the camp.
I would love to watch that. And just like the pride and like you'd feel as a viewer, like these are like my guys, like you're that are up against the rest of the world. Who's the more dominant like hockey? I
Force.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, our side of the pond or theirs.
Yeah.
It would be pretty sick. I like that idea, Miggy. It doesn't really solve the World Juniors, so
No,
maybe
it
we
doesn't
just
at all, but
leave
it's
the
just a
World
new-
Juniors as they are, and just a completely separate occurrence. We'll do
New
North
tournament.
America
Maybe
against
we organize it.
lots of
Maybe we
launches.
pitch it to IIHF and have the Lads and Launchers Invitational.